Have you been looking for a way to introduce your students to the concept of competitive advantage? Or perhaps you've been looking for an interactive way to introduce the concept of productive resources. If so, then this is your day to be inspired. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through Inspire Lesson 3, Helena Rubenstein, Creating a Market. Through this lesson, your students will identify and classify productive resources available within a given environment, recognize the competitive advantage of a business idea, and apply personal selling strategies to determine customer needs. I'm James Wilcox, and this is Inspire, an entrepreneurship education series powered by Economics Arkansas. When Helena Rubenstein immigrated to the United States, she was already well on her way to creating a global cosmetics empire. Having found confidence in her own beauty while living as a foreigner in Australia, she chose to help women around the world identify and highlight their own physical attributes. Using Helena's story as a backdrop, this lesson focuses on a few key concepts, namely competitive advantage, personal selling, and productive resources. Every Inspire lesson offers a modular approach to the content, allowing you to scaffold and take a deeper dive into the key concepts as time and interest allow. For Lesson 3, the time required ranges from 10 minutes for the bell ringer to 35 minutes for the full lesson and extension activity. All necessary materials are provided, including visuals, student handouts, links to online resources, and a detailed list of instructions. Before class begins, print team copies of Handout 1, Video Questions, Handout 2, Classroom Resources, and Handout 3, School-Based Enterprises. Print individual copies of Handout 4, Personal Selling. To set the stage for the lesson, show the short 4-minute video, Helena Rubenstein, Creating a Market, found at thisiscapitalism.com. Once the video ends, ask or assign students to work together in teams of 3 to 4. Distribute a copy of Handout 1, Video Questions, to each team and allow them 5 minutes to complete the questions together. The goal of this assignment is to learn from Helena Rubenstein's example of identifying and leveraging one's competitive advantage. The last question provides a great opportunity to debrief the teams. In which type of productive resource did Helena have a competitive advantage? How did this help her make Helena Rubenstein, Inc. such a success? Answers will vary, but should focus mostly on her human resources. For example, this could include her personality, knowledge, interpersonal and communication skills, multicultural background, and global connections in Europe, Australia, and America. As time allows, offer students the opportunity to discuss their results. If you're just doing the bell ringer, you're done. But let's see how the mini lesson and extension continue to add value through a deeper dive. Using Visual 1, definitions, review each definition, explain that teams will be taking an inventory of productive resources within the classroom and will identify a competitive advantage for a new school-based enterprise. With students still in teams of 3 to 4, distribute a copy of Handout 2, Classroom Resources, to each team. Teams will compile and categorize productive resources into 3 categories: natural resources, human resources, and capital resources. Allow teams 5 minutes to complete this exercise. As a team, search your classroom for as many productive resources as you can find. Organize your discoveries into the appropriate categories below. Consider physical resources like computers, as well as any unique skills, strengths, or knowledge represented within the room. For example, natural resources include any raw materials needed to produce a new good or service. Human resources include the labor, skills, knowledge, time, and experience represented by people. And capital resources include any man-made equipment or tools. Let's take 5 minutes and see what we can find. Next, distribute a copy of Handout 3, School-Based Enterprises, to each team. Ask each team to use its inventory of existing productive resources to develop ideas for school-based businesses. In addition to proposing a new business idea, teams will need to select a competitive advantage for their product or service. In other words, why would customers buy this instead of something else that meets their need? After 5 minutes, allow a few students to share the results they wrote for Handout 3, School-Based Enterprises. Emphasize that the goal of this activity was to look at things differently and to consider the resources that exist all around them. This activity is meant to get students thinking outside of the box, focusing more on abstract possibilities rather than concrete recommendations. There is a good chance, however, that they will come up with some very practical ideas. As time allows, offer students the opportunity to discuss their results. Finally, Lesson 3 concludes with an optional extension activity on Handout 4, Personal Selling. This can be completed in class or as a homework assignment. Helena understood her market. By focusing on their needs as they varied from continent to continent, she was able to respond with appropriate skincare and cosmetic products. Through constant trial and error, she worked with chemists and beauticians to develop the right formulas to address beauty concerns like anti-aging. A common mistake among businesses is the tendency to be more passionate about their solutions than they are about the problems that they are hoping to solve. In other words, our great idea is never more important than the needs of our customer. This activity focuses on identifying how products change over time to respond to specific customer needs or preferences. For example, consider products like the Apple iPhone, Microsoft Windows, or the Ford Mustang. What drives constant changes in these products? Businesses still fail all the time, despite having great ideas, innovations, employees, strategies, and investors. The best companies listen to the customer, and they use continuous feedback and experimentation to discover what best solves customer needs. Please let us know how this lesson has encouraged your students to consider their own unique competitive advantages as aspiring entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for watching iNSPIRE, powered by Economics Arkansas. And thank you to Stevens Inc. and their generous support for making this resource possible. For more iNSPIRE lessons or to discover other classroom tools and professional development opportunities, visit economicsarkansas.org.